Hey divas! In today's video, it is the fifth and final part of my awesome conversation with Dan Faber from Dan Faber Vocal Studios in Los Angeles. In today's video, we're talking about performance anxiety and kissing it goodbye. I'm sure you would all love to feel more confident, especially when you are going to be going up on stage. Whatever we share here today can also be applied to your day-to-day life. We all want to feel more confident in our everyday situations. Remember to subscribe before you leave, and if you haven't already, turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss an upcoming video.
And that beautifully transitions into this last little question, which is essentially that performing live or on camera can be nerve-wracking. It can be a nervy experience when you've done all this work in the studio and then all of a sudden it's like, now it's time to actually perform. So how do you actually help your students manage performance anxiety? What do you advise them to do to create engaging confidence on camera or live in person when singing?
Well, first of all, performance anxiety is like totally natural. So I don't like students to feel like, isolated, like it's only them, that nobody else has this. It is like a totally natural, normal thing. Even very seasoned performers still will get a bit of that performance anxiety. So it's totally cool. I think you just need to learn how to manage it. So I help students to manage that by like gradually exposing them to like live or recorded performances, hearing their own recordings, and then analyzing it for themselves. Then there's also like breathing exercises, mindfulness techniques, and also constructive feedback. For people that are like practicing in front of a camera, definitely scripting your content can also help reduce anxiety and improve that like on-camera presence. Even like now, as we're doing our little recording, like I think it's so important. Like I've got my little notes here and stuff. You can still engage with your audience. You can still be, natural and let like your performance flow. But I think just having like all your ducks in a row, it just really helps knowing that, you've got this bit of scripted stuff in front of you to just help you along so that you also don't forget anything. Just, I think that helps your confidence. It helps lower the nerves a bit more as well. How
Yeah,
about
I think
you?
that's very fair. I think that having something like that, especially if you're a beginner and there's no real like requirement to be fully memorized, if it's a little bit more open to allow yourself to have a script or have something in front of you,
Your
no one's
lyrics
gonna.
in front of you.
Yeah, I have plenty of singers who are still going out and performing at like the jazz club locally or whatever, and like they have their music stand, they have their music in front of them, or they have their word sheet or whatever. And that's certainly a great option. And then even if there is a requirement for memorization, to do all that practice, like you said, where they've done it with the sort of music there and then they've done it so many times, and like you said, repetition being such a wonderful thing that by the time that it's time for the live show, that they've already are so it's everything so in their body that they're just so confident, because it's like I've done it so many times. Why wouldn't it go any differently when I'm doing this? Which leads to my other thought, which or my main point when it comes to helping them improve their, that sort of nervous anxiety is that when you focus, specifically talking about performing music, singing songs, when you're focusing on the storytelling, the character that you're being, especially in the theatrical sense, but even in like a liturgy, in a church setting or in a in like an art song setting or an operatic setting, but specifically going to musical theater here, when you're thinking about the words you're saying, the story you're telling, the character you are, the imaginative questions of when you are performing as this character, like who are you? Where does this take place? Who are you speaking to? What are some of the other elements? Like what time of day is it? Is it hot out? Is it cold out? What are you wearing? What are they wearing? And the more you can almost close your eyes and allow yourself to use your imagination to put yourself into a perspective that is not you're not on stage singing to an audience, but rather you are this actual real person experiencing real things under some imaginary circumstances. That is when the more into that you can be, the less focused on yourself you are, and the more focused you are on the actual delivery of the story, of the text.
Very
You're
true.
not thinking about, am I singing with the right vowel and the right breath and the right everything? You're just thinking about the emotional aspect of things and making sure that you are actually being a storyteller or actually being a character, delivering a message, and trying to, what is your goal in this song? Are you trying to just tell somebody they're beautiful, or are you trying to get them to want you back? Or, there's obviously so many varieties of interesting things. And you can also apply those same principles out of musical theater and into songs like pop songs or worship songs or whatever it is, that you can think and apply these same ideas of like, what is the author aiming for here, doing that sort of text analysis and really just thinking like, who can you actually be singing this to? Picture that person in real life, so that when you're actually performing, again, you take the impetus off of what is the audience thinking of me right now, and instead you're not thinking about what is the audience thinking of me, what am I sounding like. You're not thinking about yourself. You've transformed your process and your thought out of yourself and onto something totally different. And when you're not thinking about yourself and you are thinking about the story and the characters and the situation, then your full body can really commit to that, and that is what will be super beneficial to you're not thinking, there is no nerves because you're not thinking about that. Option number 2, of course, is just take some beta blockers. There's always drugs that can help. I'm just kidding. Take a shot of whiskey before you go out there. That always helps calm the nerves.
That always helps. When I do karaoke, I'd always just tell students, have a few drinks before, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you might not sing as good, but like you're gonna have a great time doing it. It's gonna be great.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
The fun.
Yeah. Too funny.
Okay,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say this has been just a wonderful conversation. I know we've gone longer than we even expected we would, but very much worthwhile to have this conversation. And I imagine, we didn't really get into the nitty-gritty, the technique specific things, and that's okay, because this isn't a conversation that's meant for other vocal pedagogues. It's meant for people that are just interested in singing, kind of getting a little bit of a peel back of the curtain about some of the other thoughts and processes of different voice teachers from opposite sides of the world that didn't know each other beforehand, that don't have the same educational background or performance background or life background, and just knowing and seeing how much similarity there is about the whole process of the process and importance of voice lessons and voice education and music education and singing lessons in general. And Diva girl, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you this morning and to meet you today. So do you have any parting thoughts for us?
Well, it's been lovely as well, just chatting with you, bouncing off ideas. And, I've even learned so much from you as well, and from your experience with your teaching, your channel and everything. So, yeah, this has been wonderful. And I will definitely be recommending your channel to my viewers as well. If you guys want to check me out, I am the Singing Diva on YouTube. And, looking forward to making more videos for you guys.
Heck yeah. And just for clarification for the people, the Singing Diva, is that D-I-V-A, like the word diva,
yes,
or D-E-V-A, like your name?
D-I-V-A, because I'm a diva.
All right. There you go, the Singing Diva. You might find yourself looking at like Tina Turner or Celine or, Aretha or some of these other divas, but when you're looking for the Singing Diva for voice teaching, it is this diva right here. And again, I am Dan Faber of Dan Faber Vocal Studio. You can go check me out on YouTube, of course, at Dan Faber Vocal Studio, or on Instagram and TikTok, also Dan Faber Vocal Studio. I think I might still have a Facebook page, but I certainly don't post there anymore. And of course, my website, danfabervocalstudio.com, where you can learn more. You can get some of my vocal warm-up tapes. You can get access to some master classes that I've taught in the past, and you can also book one-on-one sessions with me or one of my associate singing teachers or my associate acting teacher. If you are hearing all this and thinking, oh, acting is more my thing than singing, then you can certainly book with her as well. Do you have any other places that people can find you?
Well, I'm on pretty much all the platforms. So I'm on the Facebook. I've done a bit on TikTok, but you know what? I found that just YouTube is my jam. I'm just loving it there. So I tell everyone, just come hop on over and let's hang out on YouTube. Forget the other ones. I like YouTube. Perfect. So we're just going to stick to that one.
That's excellent. Well then, Devasha, it was awesome speaking with you today, and I hope that a lot of folks have enjoyed this conversation. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, throw them in the chat below. And
below.
yeah, be sure to like and share with your people. Follow both of us, like both of us, love all of our content. Do all the things, and we will certainly be singing with you all soon.
Awesome.
All right.
In the comment section, go ahead and let us know some of your tips and tricks that you have learned to help deal with performance anxiety. Today's conversation was really, really good, and I hope you guys have taken something from it that you can apply to your own singing. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Dan Faber Vocal Studios on YouTube. You're going to learn lots more and enjoy his unique take on vocal training. Now, if you would like to go even further in your singing journey and you would like to boost your confidence even more, I highly recommend you check out the beautiful course that I have put together for you. It's called Learn How to Sing, Vocal Training, and it takes you through all the way from beginner to intermediate and then to advanced level vocal training. So you will benefit no matter which level of vocal ability you may be at. You can really transform your vocals and build your self-esteem. Details in the description box below. And that, my beautiful divas, brings us to the end of this awesome conversation I just had to share with all of you. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have, and I will be back soon with a brand new video for all of you. So I will see you there, and until then, my beautiful divas, stay awesome.